So the heating element, that's what caused the whole fire last time, because you guys put in a different one?
Yeah, and it was too powerful. I just gotta wait a few minutes, but I think that's it. We had a little fire in the Enrober.
Yeah, I figured out of everybody you would be the best to talk about this, because you saw it firsthand. I feel like everybody else kind of...
Yeah, I changed the heating element to a new one, and then I made sure it was working, and then I went in to tell Terry that it was hooked up and it was working. I could feel the heat coming off it. By the time I got back, within a minute or two, the Enrober was on fire from electrical wiring, and then I used a fire extinguisher that we have by the door and put it out, but it burned some electrical wires and burned it right up pretty much. I had to throw away all the chocolate that was in there. I had to basically take the whole Enrober apart and clean it and scrub it down, and then Craig helped me put it all back together the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great. I saw like the aftermath of it, and I mean, it's just, we're lucky that it didn't get farther than that.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I caught it right away as soon as it happened, and then I thought the whole thing, I didn't know if it was going to work or not.
Yeah, with the pictures, the
pictures
were definitely deceiving. I think they looked a lot worse than
everything
what it looks like now.
Everything was all carbon, all black, and everything's...
Yeah, it's basically cosmetic.
Yeah.
The damage is basically cosmetic. So everything's working, so it didn't reach the iPad or any of the plastic gears. It could have been terrible.
Yeah, it could have been completely...
Well, actually, Tyler was here. He's not been on videos too much, but he was actually in the break room having his break, and he smelled smoke, and he came running in here. And Steve was coming back from telling me how great it was working. And Tyler's like, Steve, it's on fire!
Yeah.
And Steve just happened to have a fire extinguisher right there. We have like 5 in the building, because you never know.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely...
Yeah, so for fire prevention week, day, every day should be fire prevention day. Keep your firefighters. Well, Steve's a firefighter now. Keep your fire extinguishers handy and charged, because we have to have them inspected every year.
Yeah.
Hey, it works out pretty well if they work.
Right. Yeah. So you didn't have any problems with the fire extinguisher, right?
No, it worked just fine, because I just had it inspected, I think, in November. It's just that's a fire safety thing around here.
I never used one before, so when I picked it up, I'm like, oh no, how do you use this?
Pull the pin. Pull the pin and throw it like a grenade. No, that's not it.
I pulled the pin and just squeezed it, and it came right out.
Well, you know.
I've never had to use one either. Is it kind of like does it have like a pushback to it, or like?
No, it just
kind of like
just
like
pull
a
the
spray.
pin out and then squeeze it, and it comes right out.
Huh.
And if you have a big fire, I think you're supposed to start at the base.
Yeah.
But this was a little fire.
Yeah.
And
so
we kept it from
direct.
being a big fire by using the fire extinguisher. So yeah, so there's a good tip. Know how to use your fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I never used one before, so that's
and then get it recharged after you use it. That's another good tip.
Is it like a fill or something, or is it actually charged? What is that?
Well, they call it charged, but yeah, they're filling it.
Okay.
They're filling it with fire extinguisher stuff.
Stuff.
Yes.
Stuff.
Yes. The stuff that puts
The
out
stuff
fires.
that definitely saved the machine.
And we're lucky it's working.
Oh, nice seeing you here. How's it going?
What are we doing here, Cooper?
I'm enrobing creams. No, not pineapple, pina colada.
Pina colada.
Fancy pineapple. Obviously, the whole thing with the milk enrober happened, and granted, the dark enrober was closed up while it was happening, but still has to be cleaned and all that, so...
Yeah, so you weren't here when it happened, but try to explain from what you can see at least.
Alright, so from what I see and what I know, that right there, I'll take this off so you can see it. This piece right here is a heating component, and it's pretty strong. Like that gets very warm, and I think so over time underneath it, like chocolate splashes up, and it was kind of baking itself onto it. And so Steve was being proactive, and he said he'll take it out. He was going to clean it. We got a replacement that we thought was going to be good. Put it in there. Steve walks to Terry's office as it's like working for the first 5 minutes to say that like, oh, it's going real good, we should get another one. And then Tyler, who works on the weekends, like runs over to Steve and basically is like, oh my god, it's on fire. And then they had to deal with that. So the new heating element was too powerful, and there was like an electrical fire in it. And it obviously, like, it's cleaned now, but there's just some like residue and kind of like this melted just a tiny bit through the heat.
Yeah, you can see how warped it is. These used to line up.
Yeah. Yep.
And then just a little bit of the darkness from...
Yeah, taking this off definitely makes it easier to see. Like, it doesn't get off on your hands or anything. Like, it's not really
Yeah, it's
dirty,
clean, yeah. It's just that's what happens when
so
you...
it is what it is. But it's working, so it's a miracle, because I got a picture of this over the weekend, and I had very low hopes for me coming into work this Monday thinking I was going to be like enrobing on this machine, but
Yeah.
sure enough, here I am. So like, the good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
And now look at it. She's back. Thank God. Quite a weekend. Steve's real tired. I don't blame him.
Yeah, dude, I don't blame him either.
It's like
That's
the
a
most
lot to
active.
happen.
He's like the most active older man I've ever met. Like he's in here this morning too, like helping me do stuff. Like just no breaks. Steve is crazy.
And then I was thinking, because when I first walked in, Terry was telling me, like, did you hear about the fire we had?
Yeah.
Like, just calm. And I'm like, what? I was like, what do you mean fire?
Yeah.
I was like, is everything okay?
Like
And she's like, yeah, no, we're fine.
said that so nonchalantly.
Yeah,
like,
I was
does
like,
this happen?
I was like, should I?
Is this normal?
What do I do? I was like,
How do I react? Yeah, no, I was taking a nap like over the weekend when I got the text, and then like an hour later is when I finally woke up to him, and it took me a solid like half hour to fully like register just like what I was reading, because I was like so flustered. I was like, am I dreaming right now? Like this, that's not normal. This doesn't just happen. But
yeah. And then it's crazy because like, so where the fire was, I guess flames were coming up, right? Like out of this.
yeah, Taylor and Tyler, and they came in, and they're like, Taylor said she saw smoke like billowing out of it, which is so scary.
Yeah, and then there's boxes up here.
Oh, there's so much paper and stuff in this room.
If the flames got too high, these boxes could have gone up. Like the whole situation, for how bad it was, could have been way worse. So
we got very lucky that when we started it up and it got to a point where like there was like a bunch of people here when it happened to react to it super fast and actually save the Enrober, like, so.
But you definitely said it well, like, good things happen to good people. So like,
if we were bad
wasn't a good
people, our
thing,
Enrober would have broke all the way, but we're good people, so
right, and like,
I think it comes around.
Not to say like the fire was a good thing, but
No.
like it just could have been so much worse.
Oh my
so it's
God. Just going through all of the like what ifs of like things that could have happened with it just makes you happy that like really it's like the worst thing is the fact that those don't line up anymore.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
So,
that's a deep breath.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive.
Crazy weekend.
Definitely crazy weekend.
If you think your weekend was crazy,
I know, right?
should be the title.
And I know, you mentioned, are you going to be able to replace that top piece or not even worry about it?
We're gonna look into it, but
Yeah, probably. I'm just going to order 2 heating elements, because we put the old one back on. We decided we didn't like the new one that much. So we're going to order 2, but they come from Canada. It takes a while to get here, so that's why we just thought we had an inexpensive workaround.
Right.
So the word to the wise is research a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's something my brother Joe would have been good at.
Right.
Because he probably would have pulled up his phone and went, no, that's not going to work because blah, blah, blah. We should have researched a little bit better. Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
So unexpected consequences. We won't do that again.
I know. I feel I was only gone for the 2 days over the weekend, and
A
lot can happen.
Yeah.
A lot can
but
happen.
The upshot is we really only lost 1 day of production, and before that happened, Steve had made a table full of sea salt almond bark, so we didn't really lose all the production.
Right.
But we were going to teach Tyler that day. We're going to teach him how to do nut busters. Like we just taught Taylor the other day. Now we're going to teach Tyler.
Right.
And I'm Terry. So we're really only showing people whose names start with T
Tongue twisters.
how to do nut busters. That's going to be, I don't know if that's alphabet discrimination, but that's how it is. Yeah.
I also see you're using the bowl again.
Yes, I am. Now my chocolate's a tiny bit warm, but it'll cool down very quickly. But yeah, Steve and I are both doing nut cups because that's what we were going to do on Saturday, but then that didn't happen. Because I always joke about how I'm always putting out fires. Turns out Steve was always putting out fires.
I spent my whole Sunday in here till 5 o'clock, 5:30. But it's all back together and working, so.
And so are you.
Yep.
Back together and working.
Yeah. Well, at least the bowl is working good.
Plus it's tie-dye.
I know, and you just like you
How
can't
neat
go
is
wrong.
that?
That's Billy Joel song. I started the fire.
You didn't start the fire? Oh, yes, you did.
I wish we could not get copyrighted and use that song for
I
the
know.
ending of the video.
You know what? I'll call Billy. I think I have him in my speed dial and ask him if it's okay.
I think he would be fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't think he would mind.
I'm like, Billy, do you know who this is? Do you know who I am?
On to the next order.
On to the next one. We got a ton today.
I know, I can definitely see there's a lot. I would show them, but there's addresses, so we can't.
This person got an all dark chocolate, 1 pound. That looks beautiful.
Mmm.
Really good, really good.
Those look really nice. Dark chocolate always looks like more like aesthetically pleasing, I think.
Yeah, the all dark boxes are nice. And then, oh, this person said Love Coops Duck Swan / Candy Creations. Aw. I'll have to tell him someone wrote that. And then I got the vegan cookie bark. And some dark chocolate potato chip bark. This is like as close as you can get to the dark chips now because we don't cover chips in dark chocolate anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shame. So how many do you estimate that you're going to have to ship today?
Probably maybe like 100 today.
Oh. That's a
maybe more. I'm not sure. It's all blurring together right now.
And then I know the talk of the town around here is about what happened to the Enrober. So only you and who else was here?
Kara was here, Tyler was here, Brian, Steve, and Terry. It was crazy. I had just clocked out on my break, and I thought somebody burned something in the toaster oven. And I was like, wait, it's getting smoky back here, and there's smoke coming through the vent. So I ran to the front, and I was like very late because they already put the fire out. But right. I was like, do you guys know about this? And they're like, yeah.
Old news.
We know. This was like 3 minutes ago. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. But the Enrober is working again.
I know.
That's even crazier.
We just caught up with Cooper, and he's in there just acting like nothing even happened. Everything's working perfect, other than some minor look.
Yeah, it doesn't look as nice. Maybe I haven't even seen it since last time I saw it. It was
not looking pretty.
No, no.
So the smell wasn't I don't know. They said it was like an electrical fire, which I don't know if it has a different smell or.
It smelled like burning plastic in here to me, but
yeah,
I don't know. What do you think, Kara? What do you think it smelled like?
Yeah, or a burning toaster. I thought it was a toaster when I was in this room.
Yeah.
Any type of machine burning, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
It didn't smell like someone was roasting food or anything.
Yeah.
It was like, that's not a good smell.
I was definitely like, oh, Brian burned his lunch. Now I have to sit back here with it. And I was like, oh my God. It wasn't Brian.
Not this time.
Yeah, it was definitely, for how bad the situation was, definitely lucky for, how bad it could have been.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if any of the parts had to be replaced, like right now, there's many shortages of everything. Yeah, so, and we're heading right into Valentine's Day, right into Easter. Look how pretty it is.
Gorgeous. Well, at least everybody was safe too. Nothing. I know that it probably was definitely hectic here, but.
Yes, Steve saved the day. He's our hero.
And Tyler.
And Tyler. Tyler's the one that
He's
noticed
the
it.
first one to notice the fire. He ran in
Wow.
that room, saw the
How-
flames, and saw Steve.
How quick was it, like, noticed? Pretty quick, do you think?
The fire happened within minutes. Like, I guess Steve left the enrobing room, went to go tell Terry something, and by the time he was done talking to her, the fire had started.
Wow.
Happened pretty fast.
Scary.
But Tyler ran up and told Steve, and they put the fire out.
Wow.
Crisis averted.
Crisis averted.
We've had fires, car crashes, floods, leaks. Just about everything you could have in this building.
Now you're signing it off.
Signing it off, and they're gonna get a gold star. They did it. They killed it.
Wonderful. Well,
On
thank
to the
you
next one.
Yeah, on to the next. What do we have going on over here?
Potato chips, and I'm curling with a knife.
Be careful with that thing. You're gonna get yourself.
Don't you usually throw with scissors?
I do, but somebody took my favorite scissors, so now I gotta do a knife. What do you think of that? Look at that curl.
Oh, it's perfect. You've been doing this a while.
Oh, yes.
I don't have to do it. Oh. Let's see, who is it?
Don't call. Oh,
They hung up.
it went dead. They hung up. They gave up.
How many of these you gotta do?
Well, I got the trays over here. I gotta finish those.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 of them are for an order, which are these over here. And these are for the shelf.
You do certain ribbons for
Yes.
orders and certain ribbons for the shelf?
Yes, we do.
What made you do this one for the shelves?
I think this is pretty. Don't you? It's got all the colors in it.
This one's my favorite one.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Make it pretty.
A lot of different ribbons.
You like that sound?
I personally don't. It's kind of like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Oh, I love that.
What? What do you mean? You like the sound of
Oh,
nails
yeah.
on a chalkboard?
Love it.
That's
Sick.
yeah.
Boy, what do you think of that?
That looks perfect. Good job.
Pretty.
Very nice.
What are we doing over here?
Cashew brittle bits.
Oh, we're doing. Oh, because we've already got all the main big slices already.
Big slices, yep.
Slices? Would that be? What would you call them? Pieces? Pieces or
Probably
slices?
pieces.
Yeah, probably pieces.
Slices.
It's alright.
funny.
Slices can work too. So what? Even like the small bits go in here too?
So I kind of do it like that small with some big pieces too.
Right. Yeah. And then once you run out of the big pieces, what do?
Give it to Leah.
How many bags do you think we're gonna have to do with these today? Do you have an amount, or do you just do
Of
it until it's gone?
Of these ones?
Just
or
in
of
general,
all of them?
all brittle.
Hundreds? I don't
Hundreds.
know.
That's a lot.
There's like 5 boxes back there still.
Ooh,
So
that's.
yeah.
You know, I helped make this.
You did?
Yeah, I pulled the brittle.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I did something.
They won't even let me do
You did
that.
something other than stand there?
I don't
I know.
stand. I try
You work
not
real
to.
hard.
I try to.
Yes. Like all of us.
Thinking maybe one more.
One more.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, we'll get the full bag. We'll see the process.
This is when you gotta start picking pieces out of it.
I heard that these things are sharp.
Yeah.
And have you cut your hands at all?
Not cut, but
Like
they will
pokes.
poke.
Yeah. and
Like a
stab it.
thumbtack.
Oh. And then you weigh it.
Yep, we gotta get to 4.4.
Oh, it has to be a certain weight. Let's see. Did you get it perfect?
Not yet. There we go.
Ooh, perfect.
She is perfect.
Alright, well you guys have fun doing this. You guys seem like you're gonna have a blast.
Oh, we do every day.
Okay, so you know how it's usually my job to put out fires? I always say I'm putting out fires. Well, Steve had to have a turn. Turns out he's pretty good at it. So the fire wasn't really that big of a deal. It just kind of looked bad, but everything came out fine. So there's a happy ending. If you're going to have a fire, have Steve there to put it up because he actually does better than me. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. And I got to get back to work now.